Someone is about to win for the very first time the European Darts Championship trophy. There it is, beautiful cut glass trophy on stage here in Frankfurt. It will be either Phil Taylor for his 5th trophy of the year or Adrian Lewis, who practiced a long time with Phil. Almost a Taylor discovery, Alan and Chris, and some of that perhaps might matter for the next half an hour or so.
Yeah, always difficult to play a practice partner. Chris knows the same. Practice with Adrian and Andy quite often when he was in Stoke. It's very difficult, but Adrian has to play like he did just against Raymond van Barneveld, because otherwise he's not going to win.
Yeah, in fact, I came to see you practicing with Andy Hamilton in his pub and Adrian Lewis in Stoke. Did he have to get out from under Phil's wing to grow?
Yeah, I think so. I think Phil took him as far as he could take him, and then it was up to Adrian to just blossom and develop into a contender, which obviously I think this is his first ranked final major, and I think he's going to enjoy it. It'll be a different game than the previous one. I think Phil touched on it when he said about if you say you'd play the board, it's rubbish, and that was a perfect example because Adrian played Peter Manley.
And now he's got to play Phil Taylor.
Absolutely.
Not the board.
And he hasn't had much time to come down from the semi-final as well. That's a little bit of a key issue, but I'm sure he'll be okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, we gather he's got his act together and he's ready to make another big entrance. Players about to contest the 2008 European Championship final. Crowd are ready, as is our MC, John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final, and we are live in Frankfurt, Germany. The final of the PartyPoker.net European Darts Championships, brought to you by the PDC and live on ITV4. Well, 32 came and only 2 remain. It's time now to meet our finalists, the boys from Stoke-on-Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, would you please welcome, it's Jackpot, Adrian Lewis. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to meet a legend. From Stoke-on-Trent, England, 13 times champion of the world, it's Phil, the Power Taylor.
Can Adrian Lewis unplug Phil Taylor? Who wants to be the first European champion of darts? First up in the commentary box for us in Frankfurt, Chris Mason and Stuart Pike.
Is it going to be another major TV title for Phil Taylor in 2008? A year he has taken darts to yet another level. Or can Adrian Lewis finally win a big major? We've already seen one Lewis crowned world champion earlier today. Can another Lewis win the European Championship here in Frankfurt?
Well, Alarm bells were ringing downstairs while they were bulling up. I wonder if the alarm bells are going off in Adrian's ears. He's come a long way from winning the British Teenage in 2002. 6 years later, here he is playing the best dart player in the world.
Well, quite simply, the biggest match of Adrian Lewis's life. He reached the World Series of Darts final in America, in Connecticut, back in 2006. We've described that as a minor major. Taylor romped away with it by 13 legs to 5. First to 11, but we can go to overtime and we can go to a sudden death leg. Is this the event as well that in Adrian Lewis, the boy finally became a man in the darting world? Quite brilliant against Barneveld, and managed to survive all that Peter Manley could throw at him to book his place in the final. For so long, master and pupil. Who will be the master on the big stage in Frankfurt?
Well, big ass for Adrian. He's got to reproduce that performance that he had against Barneveld. If he does that, this could be a fitting finale to what has been a fantastic tournament.
Well, at the moment, the power looks unstoppable. Round 1 against Barry, 106 average. Round 2 against King, 114. Quarter-finals against Walsh, 106. Nearly 110 in the semi-finals against Thornton. His tournament average touching 110. Amazing.
Has to be a record. I'm sure someone will tell me if it's not, but I've never seen anything like it.
Well, Adrian Lewis has it all to do. But Taylor was given a game for a while by Mark Walsh in the quarter-finals. And Robert Thornton won 4 consecutive legs in the middle of the semi-final against the Power, and I'm not sure that's happened at all during 2008. From 7-all, Taylor won the crucial 15th leg and powered on to victory. It was nip and tuck. It wasn't a great standard between Lewis and Manley in our other semi-final, but Lewis won the last 4 legs to clinch his place in the biggest match of his life.
Imperative that he gets off to a quick start. Don't want to go a few 3-4 legs behind. Set that up nice. 68 when he returns, and he will return because Taylor's all the way back on 278.
The battle of the Stokies. For so long, Phil Taylor took Adrian Lewis under his wing, and there's no doubt that he's played a part in the success that Lewis has enjoyed over the last few years. But I think it's fair to say it got to a stage where it was doing more harm than good for Lewis. Double top though, was doing no harm at all, and Lewis crucially holds on to his throw in the first leg of the final.
Yep, lovely clean finish. Scored well, finished well. Exactly what he needs. Deep breath now, he can relax. And hopefully get into the meat of this match and give Taylor a proper game of darts. Because that's what we all want to see.
I'm just wondering what effect it has on the players. I mean, Taylor's had a couple of hours, hasn't he, since his semi-final win over Thornton. Adrian Lewis has had, what, 20, 25 minutes? It may be of an advantage to Lewis that he hasn't had to think about it for too long.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. He hasn't had time to reflect on what he's achieved this week. He's straight back up there, and by the looks of it, straight back into a nice rhythm. Looks comfortable. Looks a different player to the one we've seen against Peter Manley.
Well, this tournament means so much for Adrian Lewis. Apart from the fact it's this first major TV final, he's now catapulted himself back up to 6th in the world and right in the mix for a place in the Premier League. He's won at least £25,000 and he's clinched himself a place at the Grand Slam.
Yep, pressure's off. He was just relieved to get through that match. He now knows he's in the Grand Slam of darts, which is massive. And like you said, he's also now looking more